My fellow Verasians, it's been a bad day. Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Simon. We are the Wells of Wall Street. Hope you enjoyed that little intro. I thought that was amusing. At least I amused myself. So the chart today across the board has been a bit of a flop really. I'm just going to start with Bitcoin here before we go into Veracity. So what's actually really positive is that Bitcoin has not gone, well it did go below to be fair, but it has retraced so far above the 50-day moving average. So this is a really bullish sign in terms of clawing back and getting ourselves back on track as quickly as possible. So of course the Asian market is still due to open of course around 2 a.m. GMT time. So I'm not sure what that is around the world for you guys and everything, but it's definitely something to keep an eye on. But that leads us into Veracity and pretty much the same story across the board. I wasn't planning on doing an update today on any of these assets because we've done one yesterday or in the last couple of days, but of course today is significant and we always promised that if anything critical happened, we would do a video. I would have done it earlier today, but I was at work, so it's not possible all the time. So a couple of things to reflect up on here. First of all, for me, I was quite happy because managed to get a buy order in here that we put in a few videos back, so that's quite interesting. I didn't really anticipate it to happen in this fashion, but needs less it has occurred. I did have one down here as well. I did actually think when we were edging towards this 35 mark, 0.035, I thought, oh wow, this is actually going even further down and I might actually hit this one as well. But yeah, it hasn't happened, and that's the whole point of taking profits as you go along, and also deciding the strategy of buy points on the way back down as well. I could potentially have had one back down here for like a really rainy day, but it's not really needed right now. I just want Veracity to now push on. I think those that have been involved in Veracity for some time, and including more recently, of course want to start seeing those gains and returns on their investment. And on that subject, to be fair, since the 20th of July, we mentioned in many videos, forget this weekly one, this is obviously including today's mishap, but if you go on a 3 monthly basis, we're 220% up. If I was a financial advisor or a banker or something, I said to you, excuse me, how would you like to make 200,000% growth in 3 months? Well, you'd snap your hand off, wouldn't you? So absolutely phenomenal, and it will continue to do so. 8,400% up on year to date. But back to this point here, this orange line that I've got drawn in here, which is around 0.035. The reason I drew that in is because if you remember a couple of videos ago, I said that this pattern was really interesting here. We're seeing a unique support level, or certainly resistance at this stage. And it was pretty much bang on across this whole entire section. Look at that. I don't think I've seen that before in such a consistent format in such a short space of time. So 21st of August, pretty much to here, we obviously had this correction and a bit of profit taking, etc. We went straight back up here, and this was definitive really for me. But look at this. Hopefully you can see this on the chart as well as I can. But this red wick, that it just comes to about here, which is slightly under the previous resistance support level that we had drawn in for this area here before. So I've just redone it here so you can see it. It's pretty much rejected it. So this would entail to me, and hopefully we close above this. And again, it's not even really gone anywhere near the 50-day moving average either. It's just literally touched the 20, and it's straight back up there. This just shows you how strong Veracity is. And don't get me wrong, there is still opportunity of course for us to potentially still go down, because that RSI is bang on in the middle, and we are in, unfortunately, almost a switch over point to that bearish momentum. So you could get some destabilization in the next few days before we start trickling back upwards. So it's a bit different to what we were talking about a couple of days ago. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone around the world, that I say to be realistic about these charts. I'm not going to do hype videos here. We take it step by step and try and analyze it the best we can with as good as we can accuracy projections of what is to come. no one really anticipated today, other than we did mention on a few videos on occasion about Bitcoin hitting that around about $52,000 mark was really crucial, because that was massive resistance. It kept touching it, slightly over, behind, slightly over again, behind. And that, even in that period of time over last week, was quite an indicator in my mind to say, like, can't quite see us pushing forwards. And then, of course, leveraging and liquidation and things like that, the entire thing sucked out. I do believe, and just quickly going back to this, I generally believe there's a bit of manipulation going on today. Very interesting, of course, the El Salvador commitment this week of becoming a legal tender. Is that part of it as well? So it's too sharp in such a short space of time. And of course, the only people that try and win out of this is the whales, shaking people out. So you've got to have strong hands in this. Veracity and all these other crypto assets, not going anywhere. This will recover quite quickly, in my opinion, across the board, and you will see us fly. Towards the end of September is going to be relatively slow and slow P upwards, but I think in October we're going to start seeing some extraordinary results, especially towards the mid to end of October. So let's see how that goes. We're still actually, ironically, within our trend lines that we drew in ages ago. So this is another really good critical point for this particular crypto asset, showing really bullish and strong momentum here. If we can close, like I said, above this resistance line here, I think we'll start seeing, of course, a bit of topsy-turvy for a couple of days as people sort of generate their situation, their personal situation. And also, as well as I mentioned, different markets, different times around the world might see a reflection of this overnight again, potentially dipping down to where we have this buy order. It's just really, a bit of a strange one today. So the sell volumes are in there the last 48 hours. So it's very much make or break at this point in time. But we're within the trend lines, which is really interesting. So I'm really bullish about this. I know people are thinking it's a really bad day, but it's an opportunity for buying. There's an opportunity a few days back to take profits, not just from this point short term, but as well from here. It's a lesson learned for those that perhaps were really frustrated today and couldn't get on the exchanges to make decisions. Think about the things you need to do, like taking profits along the way, having money potentially available fund-wise in exchanges ready to go for things like this, because the last thing we're going to do is battle the exchanges with the whole network capacity that they just cannot hold. And do need to still continue to work on, of course. So let us know what you think about Veracity in the last 48 hours. Of course, what does this tip mean to you? Let us know how it's affected you, and we'll do our best in the next video, and hopefully we'll have a more positive video in the next one. But I see positivity already in this. I think there's loads of things to take away from this, that we've had a general profit correction irrespective of our theories around Bitcoin and everything. The profit had kind of really need to be taken at some point, because we were just going on a very steady high end curve on all majority of the crypto assets. So it's really exciting to see, and I think that we're going to see some really good bullish momentum, as I said, over the course of the next couple of months anyway. So I'm not concerned. Veracity is a long-term hold for me personally, and for Steve as well, but equally we know we're going to take some very serious profits this year as we go along. So make sure you do that. Again, not financial advice, it's just opinions and thoughts, but we can only recommend what has worked with us, and also just general consensus of what you should try to do to protect your assets, to protect your profits. Okay, so we're going to wrap it up there, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and please do make sure you like this video if you found it informative, and do subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. So other than that, guys, I hope to see you in the next one, and we'll hopefully see Veracity in a bit more of a recovery mode. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.